All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and today I want to bring you a video where I show you how you can maximize your power for the season. The first thing I want to cover is that the maximum power for this season is going to be 1060 as your gear score. Now, obviously, your artifact can take you well above 1060, and you're going to want to do that if you want to, fight some Grandmaster Nightfalls and stuff like that. But as for Trials and Iron Banner and your maximum gear score, the highest score that your gear will go this season is 1060, and so that is the power cap. And I want to give you some tips and advice on how to get there as fast as possible. 1042 is where I'm at on this character, but what I am going to go ahead and do is I'm going to switch over to my other character, and I'll show you what I got going on over there and some of the tips and strategies that I use. So the first thing you want to do is level up one character doing all powerful and pinnacle drops, and I'll cover this in just a second here. Once you've done absolutely everything on one character, you can then go over to your second and third character, and the season pass is super, super helpful for this. You go to the season pass and you have this very first drop here. I'm not going to grab it now because I haven't quite finished this yet. I've finished every single pinnacle on my Titan currently, so my Titan's around like 1042, and I do have a little bit more to do, like I can do some comp, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I've done almost every single pinnacle on my Titan around 1042. Next up is my Warlock. I'm about halfway through the pinnacles and powerful drops of my Warlock or my Hunter, and then the third one is going to be my Warlock. Sorry, my bad. First is Titan, second Hunter, third is Warlock for myself. So that's why I haven't picked this up yet. I did pick this up on my Hunter though, and so it's sort of like a scale where you want to, if you were to have a glass of water, you pour the most amount of water into the next cup before you start on that one. You know what I'm saying? You want to have the most powerful weapons and armor on the first character, and then toss them over to the second character and pick up this season exclusive armor, because this just gives you a full set, and then you can start to pick and choose through here. One thing that's also extremely helpful is if you go into dim, you can go into vendors, and if you see this little engram icon lit up in there, that means that the vendor is dropping at level. So for example, Devrim K, you see he's not dropping at level because it's not lit up. If you were to scroll down here, you'll see that certain vendors are lit up. For example, Asher Mir. So Asher Mir is lit up, which means if you go to him, you can drop some Phase Glass Needle on him, and his armor will drop at your current level, which for me, for example, I'll pull up my dim here. Let's pull this up here. And my bottom base level for, let's say, either my Warlock or Hunter, my Hunter is 1035, my Warlock is 1019. And so if I were to have on my Warlock, my base power level is 1019, that means the Asher Mir armor will drop at 1019. If I were to have a helmet that was 1010, for example, for whatever reason, let's say I just started, if I were to get a helmet from Asher Mir by turning in that Phase Glass Needle, it would drop 1019, which is that's a +9 drop. That's definitely beneficial, and that's definitely what you want to do to try and level up. So that's the first and most important thing to keep in mind, is that if you can use your planetary materials or your Vanguard tokens, because Zavala was a source for getting at level drops, make sure to do that in between each drop. Constantly go into dim and click here. If you can, dim is Destiny Item Manager. This is a free app. If you go here and you click on maximize your power, you can see what the most powerful drop is when you're in orbit or at the tower. You can see what your most powerful drop is on your helmet, gauntlet, chest, boots, class item, your primary, your energy, and your power weapon at any given time. And you can see what you need to get. And when you know what you need to get, it changes things so much better for you for leveling. So then when you know what you need to get, you can go to Asher Mir, for example, and grab what you need from him, or you can go to Zavala. And one thing that is really important is these Umbral Engrams are insane. These Umbral Engrams drop really high for some reason, and they drop like candy. You get them all over the place. Make sure you focus them to either armor or weapons that you need, and pick up the respective, armor piece or weapon piece, and get that drop for you through the Umbral Engram. So keep that in mind. I'm on my Warlock now. I'll go over destinations. So you see the yellow icon, so you know that there's stuff there you need to do. If I were to do some Crucible, I could get Pinnacle gear by doing these, or I can get Powerful gear by doing these. Obviously, Powerful is not as good as Pinnacle, but when you're way under the power cap, it really doesn't make that big a difference. Once you get closer to 1050, it'll start to matter. You'll want to save the Pinnacles for last. But when you're at the very bottom and you're just getting started this first week, it's probably not going to matter as much, because probably not anyone's going to hit 1060 this week. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But I imagine that people will hit maybe 1050, maybe in the mid 1050s at most. But it's going to be hard this first week because you run out of powerfuls and you run out of pinnacles. So basically just do either any of these, and as you level up and as you get drops for you, if you have some really great imbalances on your character, like if you have like a crazy high helmet but a really low gauntlet, then go turn in an Umbral Engram, focus it into an armor piece, and get that armor piece to drop for you. Or go to Zavala, or go to whatever vendor in here is dropping at the proper level. Let me see here. So it looks like for today, yeah, Commander Zavala is again dropping at this. So go to Zavala, turn in those Vanguard tokens, and hopefully you get that arm piece drop for you. Obviously, it's a chance at that, but if it does drop in the right slot, it's extremely beneficial for you because you've essentially done a powerful drop or a pinnacle drop from tokens or from planetary materials, which is huge. That's really, really beneficial. And that will help you in getting and ascending to the highest power level as fast as possible. Now, obviously, this also depends on your time commitment because, you know, you need to put in hours and hours of times to beat raids and beat all this crucible matches. So that is another issue. So don't stress it. Don't feel like you absolutely have to rush it by any means. But, you know, Trials is coming out this Friday and power advantages will be enabled. So people that get really high up there are going to have an advantage. Iron Banner will obviously come out later on, and that will be important. And, you know, the higher the level you get, the easier all the activities become. If you haven't beaten the new dungeon yet, make sure to watch my guide on that and, you know, work on power leveling, and hopefully you can hit 1060 soon enough. So hopefully this video was helpful. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask me in the comments below, or better yet, I'm going to be live streaming all day. Come by the Twitch channel and type in chat. I will help you level up and achieve maximum power as fast as possible. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.